We used to live in a world where we had a kind of division between work, simple work that people were told to do, that's old-fashioned factory work, and professional work, white-collar work that people did in offices, and they just did. And that was a world that had its own, I suppose, logic and balance. To me, it wasn't a very good world. We're now trying to move to a different world where everybody can talk about their work. Everybody can, if you will, share their work. And that's a good thing, to be able to actually share. But it's a frightening thing for most people because what they've learned in life is that knowledge is power, and secret knowledge is much more powerful. If only you know what you're doing, that does make it less likely that you will suddenly not be doing it. So there is the problem here in work of creating community, that you can't do work in today's world by yourself. You have to work in community. And yet there's an absence of community. So the lean movement, the lean message, is about creating community by sharing in a safe, win-win way what everybody's work is. Every step in an activity that involves lots of people and goes from start to finish, long way, long time, a lot of steps. Finding a way to share that entire sequence of activity, to talk about it, to talk together about how to make it better, and to do it in a way that you're safe. That you're not going to be punished for partly pointing out things aren't going very well, but also you're not going to be punished by trying to improve. That there is this sense that the community will take care of you if you're willing to engage in community. In a world where everything seems so impermanent, where no employer seems to have any obligation to its employees, which, by the way, is reciprocated. Employees don't feel much obligation to their employer or their work team. It's hard to be willing to open up and share with regard to the work to be done. And the natural instinct in this time is to do just the opposite, to have secret knowledge, secret work, and computers often help that. That you're not in face-to-face contact with anybody. There's no hold out your hand, shake it, and say, hey, I'll do this for you. Instead, it's a world of emails and texts and screens in which everyone is just alone staring at their screen. So we've actually gone a long ways down a path in the modern information world that actually isolates people. The whole premise was it was going to bring everybody together, but then you go through any organization and look at hardly anybody talking to anybody, and almost everybody looking at a screen, their own screen with their own stuff. So we've dug ourselves a pretty deep hole, and we're trying in the lean community to try to figure out how to get out of that. And we do it with experiments. So, well, gosh, we know where that leads. It leads to splendid isolation. Is there a way we could get back to community? And to do that, we now have to run some experiments. We have to prove that it's possible to actually be open, to truly share, to do that in a team, community environment, and to come out whole. And indeed for that to feel good, because it should feel good, but also that you get some of the benefit of this virtuous positive behavior. It doesn't just wander off and disappear to somebody else.